All right, well, I don't have time to screw around because we got things to do around here today. I'm sorry that I'm late, guys. I really appreciate your patience and waiting for me to get things back together. And let's just move this over here. We'll open up Audacity. Let's see, apps, Audacity. We'll go back to scenes. We'll drag this right over here, make it smaller. Well, I appreciate your patience. You guys are awesome. Hey, TF Wagner, how's it going? Where did my chat go? There we go. All right. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's shut off the music. And I'm going to pause my alerts. Well, I'll just turn them down. Hey, Kid Curdy, what's up, man? This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by Love My Ness. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 and get exclusive rewards at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. We'll call that patron. And we'll go save project as... And we'll call this, what the heck episode is this? This is 164. Let's see, 164. Episode 164 of Switchcraft is brought to you by Audible. Get a free book and directly support the stream by checking out Audible. They have thousands of books from every genre. You're definitely going to find something you like. Just head over to runjumpstomp.com/audible and get your free book today. I'll call that sponsor. Save. Oh, we got some more stuff on sale. Does anybody have a list of games that are on sale right now? SteamWorld Dig, 1 or 2? 2 is way better than 1, but 1 is still a good game. Yeah, I'll just grab my Switch. And I will open up the games on sale tab. So that's how I'll do it. I'll just go through my Switch and say stuff that's on sale. Anything that catches my eye. I probably won't list everything. Harvey P. To become a Twitch sub, is it a monthly subscription cost or an upfront cost? It's a monthly subscription, or if you have Amazon Prime, it's completely free. All you do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and it automatically, then you subscribe here, and then you get all the benefits that somebody who pays does as well. And Twitch sends me money for it. And I really appreciate the thought. Hey, you're on RN. RN. I don't know what RN means. All right, here we go. Watch the live show. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Switchcraft is recorded live 3 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, except for today it's 4:16 p.m. because I was running late. Sorry about that. And on Saturday at whatever time I can get around to it. If you want to catch the live show, tune in live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. You'll be greeted by awesome people. People like Kodiak Moonwolf, Snow Goes Ham, Vaxer, Awate86, Chai Tea Lady, Aerslia, Harvey P27, Kid Curdy, Link 31254, Ostrich Owen, Risen by Blood, Shub Brew, Super 80s, TF Wagner, and the Lurkers. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for hanging out with me while I do the show. And thank you for your patience since the show is running late today. I really appreciate it. I got a bunch of feedback from my previous episode, but I'm still getting some feedback today. So I'm not going to respond to for those of you that missed it, last episode, Tom Tate and I sat down and we talked about a bunch of stuff. Make sure you listen to that last episode. It was a really fun conversation with Tom. But we asked a couple of questions. One of the questions was, what is your favorite non-Nintendo game on the Switch so far? What is the most anticipated non-Nintendo game that's coming to the Switch? And what is your perfect game for the Switch? What game do you really, really want to see? And I've been getting a bunch of information from people. They've been sending it in. You can do so by emailing me, runjumpstomp@gmail.com. You can call and leave a voicemail at 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786-5867. You can join on the Discord at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And you can tweet at me at runjumpstomp. And I've been getting information from people and kind of putting it together in a list. And I'll save that for a future episode, maybe on Saturday's episode. I'll talk about it because it's usually a slow news day on Saturday. But I appreciate all the feedback that you guys have been giving me. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start with the news. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough into the microphone. We'll go ahead and name this feedback and save. You should do reviews once a month. The last Thursday of the month. I don't know, maybe. Oh my gosh. Awate86, 6 months of subscribing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. 1 second. There we go. I found it. Got my hype hat. Thank you very much. Awate, 6 months. That is awesome. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day, sir. Or ma'am. You know, honestly, I don't know. Yeah, but, you know, somebody wrote in at one point and they were like, don't read the reviews because it's like advertising for your show and I'm already listening to your show. So it's kind of, I felt, people were saying it, that they felt like it was a waste of their time. What I do now is when people review the show, I just collect them and I say thank you in their names, but I don't read their reviews on the show. But I do read every single review, both good and bad. And I have had quite a few people stop, like quite a few people not do something. You can't have a lot of people not do something. The number of reviews that I've had for the show has definitely decreased since I stopped reading them on the show. But I like to try and keep the show to be very narrowly focused and, you know, not too much of me going outside of the news stuff. Oh, I understand, Kid Curdy. I totally understand what you're saying. But it wasn't just one person. I actually received that information or that feedback from multiple people. All right. Where were we? That being said, like emails and stuff, I still read on the show. Like that stuff will be on the show, but the reviews, you know, I'm not too sure if I want to include that. But if we get like a slow news day, then I can definitely include it. Sorry for the cough. All right, where are we? You know, I'm not going to do that story first. I'll come back to this. Here, we'll go to this one. Well, JapaneseNintendo.com has posted a story that Nintendo has now applied for 9 trademarks, including an Octo image that just basically looks like, I almost want to say like 1980s style, retro purple and pink lettering with the word just Octo, which is clearly for Splatoon 2's DLC. They also did patents for, or not patents, trademarks, sorry, not patents, for Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers, Luigi's Mansion, Mario and Luigi, Metroid, Metroid Prime, Smash Brothers, and Wario Land, which we already knew, and Wario Land, which we already knew that they were doing, but they also did WarioWare. Actually, let me flip those. Okay, so we knew that they would be doing something with WarioWare, but what we did not hear about was Wario Land. So that's actually very interesting. This is actually the second time a new trademark was filed for Wario Land this year, and that's awesome because Wario Land. For those of you who don't know, the difference between Wario Land games and WarioWare games they tend to be like these micro games where you play the game and it's 2 seconds and then it's over. Whereas Wario Land is really more like a the ones that I've played have been like these side-scrolling games, kind of more like a 2D Mario game, but obviously Wario plays very differently. He can slide forward and punch things, and he's not all about saving somebody. He is trying to track down as much money as he can. So I'm looking, I would be happy to be able to check out a Wario Land game on the Switch. The only one that I've ever played, and I can't remember what the sub name or the actual name of the game was, but it was for the Wii, and we had a local video store. This is when Netflix was just starting, I think, or at least they were just getting popular. And Netflix, like, they were just destroying all local video shops because people could they didn't have to worry about rental fees. They didn't, or not rental fees, but late fees. And it was awesome. Like, this is back in the days when Netflix had discs all the time. So you would have these discs that would come to your house. You'd open up the envelope. Oh, what did I get? Oh, cool. It's this movie. You'd watch it and then send it back. This is before you could really stream it. And that business model totally put out of business like local video shops, which is too bad because that was a thing that when I was younger, and I'm not saying when I was really young, because yes, I did go there, but I have fond memories of my wife, myself, and my daughter getting on our bicycles and riding our bikes down to the local video shop and picking out a movie to rent and taking it back home and watching that movie. That was like a little ritual that we would do on the weekends, and we loved it. It was so much fun. And then when Netflix came and put all those places out of business, that was just not something that you did anymore. And more often than not, when we sit down to watch something with my son, who has never been to a video store because since he was been born, this is not something that exists. And I'm totally getting off the rails, but I'll wrap it up in just a second. More often than not, when we sit down and we're like, do you want to watch this? No. Do you want to watch this? No. And we can't make a decision. Whereas when you were in a video store, I felt like it was a lot easier to make a decision because you didn't always have access to everything. So anyway, that side story aside, I guess, it had put that store down the street out of business, and they were selling all of their video games like super cheap. So I bought a bunch of Xbox 360 games, and I bought the Wario Land game that was on the Wii, and it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. And that was the only Wario Land game that I ever played. So the idea of a new Wario Land game on the Switch, I am very much looking forward to that because that sounds awesome. Now, just because we've got a trademark for it doesn't mean that we're going to actually get a game, especially this year. There's no telling what's going to happen. We're not too far from E3, so I wouldn't expect any announcements until then. But you know what? Fingers crossed. All right, we'll save. Well, let's name that. We'll name that TM and then save. All right. Let's go ahead and do the sale right now while I'm thinking of it. Otherwise, I'll forget. Now, who was it that said something about the sale? Kid Curdy. Okay. So it's a good thing that I do the show live because I get people in the chat to help me out and let me know when there's things that I should mention. And Kid Curdy mentioned that there's a sale going on the eShop right now. So I grabbed my Switch and I'm looking through it, and certain things that are jumping out at me that look really fun, or games that I know are really fun because I've played them. Super One More Jump is on sale. I don't know how much it is because I already own it, and so it's not going to tell me that. But you can open up your Nintendo Switch eShop and check that out yourself. And for those of you who are watching the video, why am I staring down at the thing? Is because I'm looking down at my Switch. Chromagun is on sale. I'm a big fan of that game. Crypt of the Necrodancer, which, if you don't know anything about that game, it's a really cool roguelike dungeon crawler that's also a rhythm game. So you have to like attack the skeletons in the dungeon to the beat of the music that's playing. Really, really cool. That's $14.99. I have that on Steam. I have not played that on the Switch. Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King is a game very much reminiscent of Zelda: A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. Rocket League is still on sale from last week as well. And scrolling. SteamWorld Dig 2 is on sale. You definitely got to pick that up if you haven't played it yet. It's really amazing. And I got to say, they also have, like, the Lego games are on sale. But this one right here, this is the one that I would, if I had to pick one Lego game out of any of them, this is 50% off. And that is Lego City Undercover. That game is so awesome. Like, my son played this on the Wii U. It was a Wii U exclusive back in the day. And it has a humor about it that is just so awesome. And it just cracked me up when I was listening to or watching him play it. So I highly recommend that one. TF Wagner says One More Jump is $5.60. That's a great deal. That game is really, really fun. And if you didn't know, I actually interviewed the developers for that game. So make sure that I'll try and drop a link in the show notes to the interview. But I talked to the developers of that game, and they were really nice. Good conversation with those guys. That's at my YouTube channel. So if you don't feel like looking in the show notes, you can just go to youtube.com/runjumpstomp. Kid Curdy wants to know, is Kamiko worth it? I don't know. I bought it when it was like $2, and I didn't play very much of it. It didn't really compel me to continue playing, but I thought it was kind of fun. It mostly didn't get played because when it came out, I was just busy. I was too busy, and I'm constantly busy, so I guess that's always my excuse. But Kamiko is a fairly cheap game already, and if it's already 40% off, that seems like a steal. I don't know how much that what's it, $1? I mean, that seems really, really cheap. So I don't know if it's worth it or not, Kid Curdy. I can't give you advice there, but all I know is that I thought it was kind of fun. There we go. It's a sale. Whoops. Okay. Shoot. And thank you very much, Awate86, for the 6 months of support. Hat is off to you, my friend. That's right. If you guys want to help me come up with a title, be sure to click on that link, and I'll have to check that at the end of the show. All right. Speaking of the eShop, there's a lot of games on the eShop, like a crazy amount of games on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And Rolling Stone did a story where they were interviewing Baker. Oh gosh, I can't remember the guy's name. Let me look it up real quick. What was his name? Zoob. Come on, it doesn't say. It just says Baker. I don't know the guy's name. Just keep saying Baker. Baker said. Said Baker. Baker said. Butcher said? Candlestick maker said? All right, it doesn't say. That's fine. All right, well, I don't know who Baker is, but they were talking about the Nintendo eShop, and they were discussing basically how in July of last year, they knew of 150 titles from third parties that were coming to the Nintendo Switch. That was in July last year. But by the end of 2017, over 320 games had come out on the Switch, which is a really, really significant jump. Like, that's a big jump. And there's even a higher number coming out this year. Like, right now, they're saying that we should expect more than 320 games to come to the Nintendo Switch in 2018. And those are third-party games, mostly on the eShop. He went on to say, this mysterious Baker individual, went on to say that while we're really fortunate with this reception, we also know it's our responsibility to recognize that there's a lot of content coming in that we need to find ways to improve discoverability. And I just want to say, hooray for you. Awesome. I'm happy. I'm give the guy a round of applause because I totally agree. He then also said, and I found this really interesting, that we now have enough content that we don't have to wait every 6 months to promote a new batch of indie titles. We can now increase the cadence of Nindy's videos. So I think that what that means, it's not like I'm reading tea leaves here. He pretty much came out and said it. We're going to be seeing Nindy's videos from Nintendo more often. Now, what I think that they should do, they should not mention it ahead of time because people get too hyped for those things. When you mention ahead of time that you're going to be announcing something and you do it as a live stream, people get really, really excited. And it's not your fault, Nintendo. It's not your fault that people get so excited. But what you need to remember is that the internet is an all or nothing thing. Like, people either love you or they hate you. And when you announce that you're going to be doing a video, they think that they're going to love you. And if they don't love you, then they hate you. So if it is not like a moonshot, if it is not an amazing thing where like your Smash Brothers reveal, then Nintendo, don't announce it ahead of time and then do a live stream of the video. If it's just a Nindy's showcase, then what you should do is just drop it on YouTube and say, hey, everybody, here's some cool Nindy's games that are coming to the Switch this year. And I think that people's expectations won't go through the ceiling, and then it'll be much easier for you to meet those expectations. Now, I'm sure, let's play devil's advocate for a second. I'm sure that there are people out there that would say, but Bill, if they announce it ahead of time, a lot more people are going to watch it. And I totally agree. But here's what happened. When they did the last one, a lot of people watched it, and a lot of people said, meh, it was okay. It wasn't anything special. There's nothing there to be excited about. And to all of the people who didn't watch it, that's what they heard. They heard that it was okay, nothing special, nothing to get excited about. And that's what they remembered. And they associated that with the Switch. So I think that that was a bad move. What you should do is save those big live stream, announced ahead of time things for when you've got huge news. And for small stuff like this, put out a press release, drop a video, don't do a live stream, and you'll meet people's expectations, or maybe you'll even exceed them. There we go. Morgan13 says, my feeling is the dev kit for the Switch is good. Not only have a lot of indies turned up, they've ported quite fast too. Well, Morgan, a lot of indies, or a lot of developers have said that the Switch is very easy to develop for, which is awesome. And by the way, welcome back. It's good to see you. That's a main thing about the Switch is like the Wii U, people kept complaining about what a pain in the butt it was to develop for. And Nintendo certainly didn't help matters because they were always kind of making it a little harder than it needed to be. with their draconian rules and stuff. And now that we are in the Switch era, people are saying, "Oh well, I mean, I already made my game in Unreal. It's super easy to port that over, no problem at all." And Nintendo's kind of getting out of the way of people, and that has some good effects and it has some bad effects. One of the bad effects is that there's 320 games on the eShop. Some of them are probably terrible. One of the good effects is that there's 320 games on the eShop, and some of them are probably awesome. So, you know what? You take one, six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Who knows? Kid Curdy wants to know, how long is Lego City Undercover? The answer is, I have no idea. I didn't play it myself. I watched my son play it. I laughed my butt off while he was playing it. And you know what? It's a Lego game. To play through the story probably won't take long, but to go and get all of the collectibles, that'll take a significant portion of time, I'm sure. Save. I wasn't recording any of that, by the way, which is too bad because I feel like I made some pretty good points there. Okay. Let's see. I feel like Nintendo is leaning in to the meme in the fact that they just announced 5.0.1 as the firmware update to the Nintendo Switch. And of course, you all know exactly what the 5.0.1 addresses. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stability. That's right. It's going to bring some stability. General system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. I don't know who else's experience they would want to enhance, but definitely the user's experience. So 5.0.1 doesn't seem like it does much else other than stability, but you know what? Not every single update can be, a home run. Hang on, I got to text my wife. There we go. File. We'll call that say stability. Save. Okay. All right, big thanks to Super 80s in the Discord for dropping this in our Switchcraft links channel. By the way, if you want to contribute to the show in a big way, and you see a story that you want me to talk about on the show, join the Discord, runjumpstomp.com/Discord, and there's a channel in there called Switchcraft Links. And the whole point of that channel is just so people can drop links. There's no discussion in that channel. It's just a spot to drop off a link. And if you want to talk about it, we use the channel Nerd Nest usually. But I always, before I go live, I always look in that channel and find any stories that I want to add to my show notes. It's usually really, really useful. So thanks again to Super 80s for dropping that in there. This is for about the ARMS Global Test Punch. I can't believe I forgot about this. That's this weekend. So what you want to do, if you haven't played ARMS, and my guess is there's a lot of people out there who have not played ARMS. It is one of my favorite fighting games. So much fun. But if you want to check the game out and get a free trial of it, that way you can decide if it's for you or not for you. Go on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now and look for ARMS, and there's the ARMS Global Test Punch. You can download it ahead of time, and then this weekend when it goes live, you can fight against each other and make a decision whether or not the game is for you. I probably will be able to, I hope I'll be able to play it this weekend. I don't know. I've been playing a whole lot of Rocket League and Splatoon 2 lately, but I think maybe I got the little bit of ARMS itch going, so I'm gonna see if I can jump in there and punch some dudes or some ladies, either way, because that game is incredibly fun. Oh man, the music in that game is fantastic. I still wish that you could turn it off though. I still wish that you could turn it off because I would like to be like, it's good music, but when you play it for an extended period of time, or if you play the game a lot, then what happens is it starts to get repetitive. Of course it does. That's just the way music goes. You don't want to listen to the same thing all the time. And because it gets repetitive, I wish I could turn it off and just play my own music. That would be way better. Benji Kong says the presentation on the whole is awesome. I totally agree, and I think that their character design is without a doubt on point. It's fantastic, and it would be an absolute travesty if we don't get some characters from ARMS in the new Smash Brothers. It would be a travesty, Nintendo, a travesty. Look at my finger. You think they saw? I don't think they saw. All right. All right, 2 quick stories, and then we're going to get out of here. Number 1, Roller Coaster Tycoon for Switch had a video from GDC, that's Game Developers Conference 2018. There's a link in the show notes to the video. It looks kind of cool. I'm not really interested in this type of game, but I know that a lot of people are. And I've heard that the port for iOS and Android was actually pretty good, and this looks to be done by the same team. I think the controls look pretty great. They showed off that you could move the camera around with the joystick, but then use the tilt functionality, the gyro, in order to make the camera kind of pitch and yaw, which is kind of cool. Anything to make dealing with a strange interface, could make the game better. So make sure that you check out that link if you are interested in the theme park building genre of games. It's not for me, though. And then finally, I know that there's a lot of people who have been on pins and needles waiting for this game. Joe Madureira, I butchered that name. Sorry, Joe. He has posted on Twitter, and he said, "Hey, Nintendo Switch, Battle Chaser." Let's try that again. Battle Chasers news. If you haven't heard, we've been approved, expecting an official release date within a week or so. So we will let you know the second we have it. Hang tight. Thanks for your patience. Awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. That is a game that definitely piqued my interest when I first saw it. I absolutely know, like, one of my best friends in the world, Bravd, who often comes to watch me record the show, and will come over, sneak in here, and there's a little red fireman on the shelf behind me somewhere that he hid when he was here last. I know that he has been just hearing me say that right now, he's probably screaming at the top of his lungs, so happy that game's coming, because he's really been looking forward to that game. Although honestly, he probably heard about it before I did, because just because he really wants that game, and I really want to check out that game too. So that's something to make sure that we look forward to, is Battle Chasers. I think it's going to be great. Finally, if you are looking, if there's a story that I missed or a topic that you would like discussed, please let me know at one of the ways that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. And if you are looking for a way to support the show, all you got to do is head on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. There's links there that will help me create more content. Thank you very much to everybody who's supported so far. My wife asked me yesterday, she said, "Hey, you haven't been talking about my Etsy shop on your show very much, have you?" And I said, I put my head down and I sheepishly said, "No, I haven't." And she said, "I could tell," because she hadn't received an order in a while. So I just want to make sure that I take a second to hashtag sellout here and tell you about my wife's Etsy shop. She makes these really cool, one second. I don't know where the other thing is. All right. Zippered pouches. So if you are watching the show right now, I'm holding up my zippered pouch. She's got Donkey Kong on one side and Mario stuff on the other, and inside are all of my cords that I need for whenever I go anywhere. She also makes dock socks. So that is just like this cloth cover that goes on the front of your Nintendo Switch dock to make it look cool under your TV. You know, I never have one on mine because every time she makes one, she comes up and takes mine off and then tries that one on to make sure that it fits right before she ships it out. So she always, like, it always just disappears. So I don't know where mine is, just because she always takes it off. Kid Curdy says, does she have Splatoon stuff? She has Splatoon stuff. She definitely does. So make sure that you check that out. She has a bunch of stuff. So make sure that you head on over to etsy.com/shop/runjumpstomp. Or again, if you just want to go to runjumpstomp.com/thank you, there will be a link right there. You scroll down probably about halfway and you'll see there's a picture of a Splatoon dock sock on my Switch, so that you can make sure that you check that out. And Kid Curdy wants to know, does she ship to Canada? Yes, we have worldwide shipping, but keep in mind that shipping internationally does cost more. We don't deal with any of the shipping costs. Everything is done through Etsy automatically. So whatever they decide that it costs, that's what it costs. Anyway, hashtag sellout again. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I'll call this last section sellout. Save. We did it, guys. I'm sorry it was late. Yeah, that pouch is cool. She also makes like pillowcases and stuff as well. And this is like one of the bad ones too. Like she made some improvements to the design after she made this. But I'm a big fan of this, and I think that she does a great job. This is super useful. Like, I just keep this and I just throw it in my book bag whenever I go anywhere. So like if you look in here, I've got, and by the way, invest in some little Velcro things, because that's all this is. Just a little Velcro thing, and it keeps your cords all nice and neat and easy to get to. There's a little pro tip for you. So this is my USB to USB-C. This is how you can charge your Switch. This is USB to USB-B. So that's for like charging like my headphones. Like my headphones have a USB-B jack on the bottom. That's how those get charged. This is so that I can charge like my phone or my iPad because it's a lightning cable. And then this one is USB-C to USB-C. This one is awesome. And this one goes with... This goes with this baby right here, which also lives in my backpack whenever I go anywhere. If I could just get that out of there. And that's this. It's an Anker power brick, 21,100. And this thing will actually, if you plug it in USB-C, because it's got two USB ports and then a USB-C port. But if you plug this in USB-C to USB-C, and then you click this button, it will charge your Switch while you're playing, which is awesome. And it will also, like, this was full, and I went out of town this weekend, or last weekend, and I I forgot to bring a cord to charge my Switch, but I had this with me, so I was able to charge my Switch 2 times, and you can see that there's still lots of power in this baby. So I highly recommend this. If you want one of these, make sure that you check it out. Use my Amazon affiliate link, and then I get it cut, even though it doesn't cost you anything extra. But these two things are amazing to have for a Switch, because it'll charge it while you play, and it'll charge it like overnight, and that way you don't have to worry about it. It's awesome. Colonel Katafi, my son would love a pillow on material like that. Well, if you we don't have it set up so that a specific pillowcase would get made. Or it's not customizable, but if you like, I don't remember what pillowcase she made, but make sure you check it out. I bought a battery, but now I'm scared to charge it with anything other than the dock. I don't want a brick. Yeah, that's true. I haven't had any problems with this. I haven't had any problems with this at all, and I've used this on both mine and my son's switches. All right, I'll put this stuff back in the little pouch. This pouch is awesome. And let's find somebody. Harvey P. No big deal, man. It's okay. Points up at my previous message. Do you want me to update the Discord command? Why? I mean, sure. Yeah, update it then. Why? What's the Discord command do now? Oh, yeah. Update it to the new thing. I think that looks better. Yeah, the new thing looks better. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Let's find somebody to host. All right, following. Who's streaming right now? Guys, okay, listen. He is super